Welcome to the Bonsai Movie Crew, where today I'm hosting, and I'm Karen. As always, with me is Matt and Joseph.
Hi.
Hello. And this week we will be talking about Serial Mom. But to start is news. Joseph, what do you got?
I didn't really.
Well, okay. I actually do have something. There's actually, you know, we talked about there's a scary poo.
Well, hold on. I have one thing before, because I didn't do any news this week, and there's not even really.
Like, why do we even do our segments?
Well,
like, I don't.
There really wasn't a lot going on this week, and there weren't really a lot of trailers.
I had a news thing though.
I'll let you go. I just want to say there's a trailer out for Christmas Story 2.
Oh yeah.
So
did you watch it?
I did watch the trailer.
I thought it looked pretty alright.
There's also
it's one of those things where you just don't fuck with a classic, man.
Sure, but I mean it's kind of
I like that
hopeful that everybody's there.
I like that they brought the kid back. Yeah.
Except, I think it's hopeful that everybody's there.
You're right.
And the only thing that the kid that played Ralphie's done has been good things. You know what I mean? Like that has brought good. You know, like he was the elf, and like he's only done things that have been good. So
right.
I have hope, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Oh well, that's all I had anyway. I didn't really have too much going on. I don't think
there's a new movie coming out this week, but I'll wait to say it because it's the movie that I choose. So
okay.
I'm super stoked about this movie. I chose. Yes. Yeah. I'm super stoked about this movie. You have no idea.
All right.
He looks stoked.
He looks stoked. He looks like a crackhead right now.
My goodness. So. You know how we were talking about, like, there's, like, a scary Pooh Bear movie and, like, all these dark...
Isn't it called Winnie, Blood, and...
Something
Honey.
like that. Like,
Blood
all these dark,
I think it's called Pooh, Blood, and Honey or something.
Yeah, they got all these, like, dark reboots of, like, childhood things.
Yeah.
So there is a dark Peter Pan coming out.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's called, like, Nightmare in Neverland or Neverland Nightmare or something like that.
See, this is when I tell you that so many people now in the world are taking things that used to be wholesome and turning them into gore, and it's sad.
It doesn't bother me that much, but it's like, dude, something original would be nice.
Yeah, that's kind of where, like, my thing is like when you start going down that road and, like, okay, the scary Pooh thing was kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
But then when you keep going,
yeah,
it's like,
whenever it keeps going, you're like, next, you know, they're doing, like, I don't know,
Care Bears, you know, like bloody Care Bears.
like if they went out and did, like, I don't know, a Game of Thrones version of The Lion King. Like, all right, you get a little fucking weird with it, you know, which actually, I don't know.
Well, I was going to say that's actually not too far off, though, because they're fucking lions.
I know, that's what I was saying. That's why I said it. But then again, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, that might be badass.
That would really actually be a little closer to real life.
Yeah, it'd actually be a lot cooler because they're taking two concepts and mashing them together.
You know what? I think we just came up with something.
I think we did too. Let's pitch this.
You know what I think's funny about what Disney's doing now is they're taking all these movies and they're like, we're making them live action. They're all CG.
I know.
Right? Yeah, your animals are fucking like, and then like what was it? The Jungle Book live action. All them monkeys were played by people. They were all played by people. Like, it's not live action at all. Like, it might look real, but it's not.
You lied.
You lied.
Yeah, I started to realize that around, like, when they made Aladdin, and I do like some of the song. There's one song in Aladdin that I really like.
Aladdin is honestly one of the better live action remakes.
I haven't seen, I don't think, any of the live action remakes.
I haven't seen it, but there's a song.
You're not missing much.
I'm just not a very big Disney fan, honestly. Like, I don't.
There's a song when they come into the village, when he has the genie and he comes into the village, and I like the
drums?
Will Smith part of that because he does one. I like his song too.
Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, Robin Williams as the genie.
Yeah.
And the cartoon was fucking fantastic. Like, he put so much energy into just his voice, which is hard to do. But for Will Smith to come in and the way he portrayed the genie, the way he did it was pretty. I mean, I'll be honest, he did a pretty good job.
It was not wrong. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
Actually, about that, from what I heard, Will Smith said he did not want to do it. because Robin Williams did it, and
that was one of the scariest things for him.
What they said to help him get into it is you're doing your own genie.
Yeah. Then he also said that it was the most work that he had ever had put into a character because it took all of his acting chops, all of his singing, all of his dancing. He said everything that he had learned over all those years, he had to put into one character, and he said it was a lot of work.
No, I mean it was probably pretty, scary.
Yeah.
Well, you want to do it justice. You don't want to.
That's the thing I wasn't surprised about because Will Smith I've heard kind of been like he's more down to earth it seems, but yeah he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to take it from Warner.
I imagine that's scary as hell. You don't want to. That's
I bet Will Smith
big shoes. To
I bet Will Smith can be kind of a douche in person, but I bet it like deep down that he's a really good fucking dude.
I bet he isn't.
You don't think he's a good dude?
No, I don't. I bet he is not a douche at all.
Dude, I bet he's got like this fuck you attitude. Like, just not because that's his personality, but that's what Hollywood has done.
I think the only way that he would be a douche at all, is
if you crossed him the wrong way.
No, like I think the only way that he could be that he would come off as a douche at all is if like how fans can be ridiculous and pushy.
Like the one that tried to kiss him.
Or like if you come up to him and he's having a bad day, and like he thinks you're being pushy. Like I think that's the only way, because they have every right to not want a fan in their face one time, a day, or what I mean. Like they're allowed to not want to be,
When Gemini Man came out, which is that one where he's in it young and old.
Yeah.
He did an episode with Gavin from Slow Mo Guys. And Gavin was also on a channel I used to watch called Achievement Hunter.
Yeah, I know.
And Gavin said he was really nice and down to earth. Like, he even started referring to Will Smith as a friend.
Well, Will Smith, I mean, I get it. He's AAA superstar. But he also, like, I remember one instance, and this is ways back, he was doing the red carpet walk, and somebody kissed him. Somebody fucking, like a dude, like I guess this guy who goes around and plays pranks on actors and shit, reached over and like kissed Will Smith on the face, like, or something.
Well, I mean, that would piss off.
And he got pissed and smacked him.
Anybody.
Sure.
He said, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Sure.
As he's walking away, he's like, he smiled and he tried to keep a happy face on about it.
Yeah,
he said, "That's lucky. All you got. That's all you got."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
okay, that's what
like,
I'm saying.
I'd have decked his ass.
I wouldn't have called. I can't. That's why I'm saying I don't think you could really consider him a douche because.
And I understand that
99% of red-blooded American males would have punched the guy in the face.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I don't think that he's a. Yeah, I doubt he's a jerk. I really do.
I don't think he's a jerk. He seems like a really down to earth, nice.
I think the worst qualities about him probably come about when it comes to his wife.
Yeah. He's all right. I don't mind Will Smith.
I think he's a good actor.
I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Honestly, I put him up higher than Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is at that point now where
I think Tom Hanks just keeps playing the same character.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's
that's
like,
what he's doing.
He tries to play this American sweetheart type character in every fucking movie, and I'm like, dude, it's getting old.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting real
like,
old.
can we go back to like the days when you played like sort of racy people? Like, I miss Bachelor Party.
Right, or
let's do that.
I liked him back in his comedy days.
That's what I'm talking about. Like Bachelor Party and the fucking
Burbs,
Dragnet, Burbs,
the fucking
let's do
Money
some more
Pit.
of that. Yeah, Money Pit. 2 weeks.
I can't.
2 weeks.
I do not like Money Pit. And there's
you don't like Money Pit?
Listen, there's a reason.
He said, "Listen."
Ashley loved that movie.
Oh, so you're burnt out.
We watched it all the time, so yeah, I burned out one Money
My
Pit.
favorite part is when he's dumping the water in and the fucking bathtub falls down and he
starts laughing.
Ashley loved the part where he fell through the floor.
Oh yeah, that's.
Where he sank through the carpet. He's like, and he's just sitting there. It's like.
I
also like when the staircase just. The fucking staircase just collapses.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies. It's not a bad movie. It's just not. I got so burnt out on it.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I'm gonna pick it one of these days. Just so you have to watch it again.
I haven't seen it in such a long time that I probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay. I love that movie though.
Okay, well, I guess we go on to our next segment. What have we been watching? So, Matt, what have you been watching?
I watched Villains.
Yes.
With I forgot his name.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård and the guy who played it's Jeffrey something, isn't it?
Jeffrey. Yes, it's Jeffrey something.
He played Michael in Burn Notice.
Yeah,
and I liked that movie. It was really good. There were some parts that made me laugh. Just it was.
Who else isn't Micah Monroe in that too? I want to say it's Micah Monroe. The girl from It Follows.
Was that the girl that played his girlfriend?
Yeah,
maybe?
I'm pretty sure that's Micah Monroe.
It is.
It? Okay.
She played Jules. Yeah.
Okay, well, she didn't look familiar to me, but
she's done.
Jeffrey Donovan is who you're thinking.
Jeffrey
of.
Donovan, and then
I know it was Jeffrey something. It started with a D, but I didn't know what it was for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, and it was funny because you said it was a dark comedy. I didn't really catch dark comedy.
Well, I think it's because those people have done much worse things. Obviously, that's a pattern.
Yeah.
So they just kind of got there in time.
Right.
And that's the dark part of it is that they got
it
there.
It is a dark comedy, like especially on Jeffrey Donovan's character.
Yeah, and I mean, and Bill Skarsgård dies. I mean, like he gets killed.
No,
that's dark.
Spoiler.
I see where
for anybody who hasn't seen that movie yet.
That's
what I'm talking about. He's whenever he dies, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, they were really starting to change
there
at the end. But there were some really funny parts and stuff. And like I said, it was a good movie. But like when it comes to dark comedy, I seem to like focus on one thing really.
Yeah.
And with that one, I understood where the bad stuff was and the dark comedy parts of it. But I just seen it as
Tyler
more as
Sedgwick and Jeffrey Donovan were not good people.
Oh yeah, no.
I thought they were nice.
You wanted to hang out?
Yeah. Invite me over for dinner sometime, man. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole I kidnapped the kid and stuff.
What's in the meatloaf?
Yeah, but yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. And then like I said, I have been trying to stop watching so much YouTube. But I found this video called Treasure Christ. Not a video, it's a channel.
Oh, okay.
And they do a lot of videos that I like. There's like a lot where they're talking about like false preachers who like false teachers, and it's not hard. They tell you who the false teachers are and what they teach.
Oh, is this what you were telling me about last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they put on some more about this list that came out that said they were false preachers, and the guy like said if he thought they were or stuff. And like I said, a lot of them you can tell because they preach the prosperity gospel, which is not real gospel. And then it's not hard to tell a false teacher after you watch these videos. They really show you what points out as a false teacher. And
I don't know, what was that guy that said he was going to blow COVID away? Like he was blowing into the microphone.
I don't know. I think he was.
I believed him.
Like
I sent him all my money.
They got all my money.
But there's
come blow me.
There are some. There are some that you can like really tell because Joel Osteen's on the list.
Oh yeah.
There's Joyce Myers, which my grandma loved her, but she teaches the prosperity gospel and stuff. And it's stuff that I know not you guys might not be interested, but I'm interested in learning about like who's teaching false prophets and stuff because, I just think it's interesting.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I just that, and then I've been trying to find like just more movies to watch like that I haven't seen, and I'm so stuck on just watching the same old things on Hulu. But I try to watch another movie every week.
I had an itch and I hit the fucking thing.
That's why I don't want it so close.
Yeah.
But I try to watch at least one other, because I'm not real big on movies like you guys. Not a cinephile or whatever. Yeah. But I try to watch one other movie a week.
That's cool. I mean,
I try to find one movie a week that I'm not that I've never heard of, but seems interesting, and watch it. That's usually my goal.
Which is weird because, like you guys said, I'm kind of easy to judge. I have realized that I will stop and read the definition, like what's going on in a lot of movies that involve the world just like getting destroyed. I don't know why.
I'm a Christian, but I love apocalyptic movies. It's coming.
I just started to realize that, like, I will stop at a movie if there's like something about some weird nature event. I'm like, ooh.
I'm intrigued.
This has my interest peaked.
That's funny. So is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, Joseph.
I haven't watched anything.
Really?
Yeah, like, and it's really weird for me because usually I'm like, I love to watch like series and movies.
You had a
but-
week like I had that one.
Yeah, I watched this week's movie and then I watch an episode. I've been watching an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia every night with dinner.
Attaboy.
Yeah, and I've got my kids watching it too, which probably isn't good, but and
Yeah, they could be watching worse.
well, usually Crystal harps on me about like, oh, they can't watch this, but like this has some like,
Have you met Cricket
Yet
yet?
your oldest
Who?
daughter.
Cricket.
which one's Cricket?
Oh, then you haven't met him yet.
Your oldest daughter watches.
He's a
Shameless.
preacher.
No.
If
At first.
Yeah, no, I met him. He's in.
Okay.
Yeah, we met him.
if
Okay.
Crystal is letting her,
Or a pastor. He's a
Yeah.
yeah.
if
Father.
Crystal is going to harp at the kids watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but then Madison's allowed to watch Shameless. Her
Well, it's
morals
not-
are backwards.
It's not Madison that she's worried about.
the little ones.
It's the boys. You know, we've got a 7 and a 10-year-old. So
I don't know. I mean, I think there's worse things he could be watching.
oh, for sure. Like
Yeah.
they don't understand half the shit they're saying anyway, and
Yeah.
Crystal doesn't seem to mind, so it's okay. But other than that, though, I haven't watched anything. I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 because it just came out, and then I did manage to. So I've read I Am Legend, and I also even read the graphic novel. But I wanted to hear the audiobook, so I listened to the audiobook, and I tell you what, I could have them read that book to me all day. like that, because I love that's one of my all-time favorite. I love I Am
It
Legend.
is. It is a really.
It is
good
one of
book.
my favorite. I've seen all of
do
the
audiobooks.
I've seen all of the movies of it, like I Am Legend with Will Smith and the Omega Man with Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
And
Is it Last Man on Earth? Kind
Last
of,
Man on
I
Earth
assume?
is and
I think
with
that one's
Vincent
the
Price.
best one.
That is the best one.
Yeah.
It's the closest to the book also. But like the audiobook, man, it's so fucking good. Like, I mean, the book obviously is good because
Yeah.
it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But it's so nice, like, because the guy who reads it, I can't remember his name. He has that voice for it, you know what I mean, and he makes it sound so good. So, and I loved it. It was good. I listened to it all in one day at work.
I can't.
So
do
I think it's like an
audiobooks.
8-hour audiobook or something.
I read the book, just a regular book, and it took me like a couple weeks because I was not a reader at the time, and Andy told me I should read it because I was talking about seeing the movie, and he goes, "You should read the book before you see the movie."
Yeah,
And
the
I've
book's
seen the
really,
movie
really good.
and was disappointed, and then for a long time I was looking for the graphic novel.
I mean, I think that the Will Smith version is the farthest from the book, but it's also probably the most well made. I would say not because like the other two are old, but because obviously I think that Will Smith does the best with.
You mean like the raw emotion of it?
Yeah, the
way
raw
that you-
emotion that Will
yeah.
Smith gives to it is like the same as what Robert Neville was in the book. Like
Yeah.
he was back and forth, up and down. I mean, just like his fucking personality, his loneliness, his need for companionship. It's fucking intense.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't.
And then the whole ending just does a whole flip on you, and you're like, holy shit, you know
I
what I mean?
don't- Yeah.
So
I don't like the movie with Will Smith, and it's because all they took was the name.
that's really
Like,
all
they-
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if it would have been called something else, okay, I would have been like, it's a good movie.
They
But the
should have
fact
called
that
it. They
put
should have
I
called
Am
it
Legend
The
in
Last
really-
Man on Earth. Really,
Yeah.
they should have. They should have called Last Man on Earth or the Omega Man and called it a fucking remake of one of those,
Yeah.
and not a direct representation of the book because
in the
it's
book-
nothing like the book.
The
Like
book-
the book is so much
The
different.
book, Robert Neville is not a scientist.
Well,
Well, I thought he was a doc. No, he was.
he worked at a
was
plant.
scientist.
He
Yeah,
worked
you're
at a
right.
plant, but over the years that he spent in loneliness, he wanted to know more about why they were vampires, and they go into strict and deep detail about these vampires and how it is. Like he discovers all this on his own, just from books at the library and
And
things
it was like
that.
a blood disease or something.
It was
right? Like
it's a parasite.
Yeah.
It was a sort of parasite in the blood.
And then the other thing,
They
that
they
also-
even go to detail about how the stakes affect them, He never figures out completely why they're repulsed by crosses, but he does help explain garlic and shit like that. So,
but like the one thing also in the book, it is labeled in the book that he is a Nordic man. He is a white Nordic man.
Yeah, he's a very large,
Blonde
and he's
hair.
very large too. He's blonde, and he's like 6'2" or some shit.
They could have, like, I understand but come on, that's something that was.
But you know, that's one thing I can say that I can kind of understand, because, like, you know, one of the things about the what's that one that they just did that was really bad, the Gunslinger.
Oh, Dark Tower?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the Dark Tower series, Roland is not a black man.
No, yeah.
Not in any way, shape, or form. He is a cowboy, like, through and through. But you talk about who Roland is as far as a person, it's Idris Elba.
Idris Elba?
100%.
I love Idris Elba,
So,
dude.
I don't think that... I can certainly understand why they picked Will Smith to play the character.
And I'm glad.
Like
I'm glad Idris Elba turned down Bond, man.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he turned down Bond.
But like you said, the raw emotion that Will Smith brought to the role, I think, was more important than really what his race was. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying is I liked the movie, but what makes me hate the movie is that they called it I Am Legend.
Sure, yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
and really, they're barely. I mean, I guess they're vampires, but they look more like crazy-looking zombies in I Am Legend.
Yeah,
they have a weird look to them.
I guess to me, what I'm saying though is, like, you know, when they change, like, the ethnicity of a character from a book to a movie or whatever, does not really matter to me so much, as long as they're bringing the essence of that character to the film.
Now if they got Ice Cube in there, you're gonna be like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
if you're talking about the gunslinger and it's very clearly a cowboy, and you want John Leguizamo to play the character, I'm gonna go,
maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
But then John Leguizamo will be upset.
I do too, but not, I do as well, but not as a cowboy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I
He
don't.
made a good Luigi.
I will say,
very good Luigi.
He was a very good Luigi.
Luigi Mario.
Your name's
Luigi Mario, and he's not even Italian.
Your name is Mario.
That's the best part.
So how many Marios are there? There's 3 Marios. There's Luigi Mario and Mario Mario.
Your name is Mario Mario? Yes, Mario and Luigi Mario. That's the best part. Oh, great. Okay, so for me, I have been watching X, which is a movie about people making a porn, and
I've seen it.
It was good. I liked it.
The sequel just came out.
Yeah, I want to see the sequel.
I do too, actually.
I want to see the prequel.
I'm afraid to watch it though, because I think that there was a lot of nudity and sex in X. It's very, very graphic. There's even a part where a girl wipes semen off of her stomach.
Yeah.
Brittany Snow's character, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a role that I never thought I'd see that girl in. Where she's like a porn star, naked and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is...
Well, I have no desire to see that movie.
It's very good. Well,
I don't think he'd get it. I don't think he would like it.
You probably wouldn't.
No,
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie, but at the same time, I also thought it was like,
I liked it, and I want to see the prequel, and I want to see the sequel.
I'm more interested in the sequel. Well, there's a prequel about the woman in it called Pearl, and then they're doing another one called what did they call it? The sequel?
Pearl and Maxine.
Oh, Maxine is the sequel.
Yeah,
they call the sequel.
So it's called Pearl. Then
X.
Then Maxine.
Well, X came out first, and then they're doing a prequel about the old lady from X called Pearl. Her name is Pearl, and then but the girl, the final girl from the movie. Is named Maxine, so they're doing a movie about her. But the funny part is that same girl plays the old lady and the final girl in X.
Well, see,
so it's kind of crazy actually.
I want to see how it all wraps in together.
Yeah,
that's what I'm interested in really seeing.
I don't know why or how, but I seen a preview for X, and I remember seeing the preview and kind of like, not interested in that.
Well, whenever they did X, I guess the studio, he wasn't even done with X. Whenever the studio was like, they already greenlit Pearl.
They were doing X.
They were doing X, And then they went straight from X and went on to do Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
So they did both of the movies back to back, and they completely greenlit that, which is weird because, I mean, Ty West is a good director and everything, but it's weird that they just would throw money at him like that. So.
Well, I think the only movie I ever watched from him that I didn't really care for was The Innkeepers. I thought that was boring as shit.
It was a boring movie.
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
I agree.
One.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It was actually one of his first movies. It was like an indie film.
I really liked the what was the Devil. House of the Devil.
Oh, House of the Devil.
I really liked that one. Then I watched The Watcher, the show.
Did you like that?
I agree with your assessment. Started out strong, ended
poorly.
But how do you end that? Really? I
That's
mean,
what I thought
there's
too,
not really a good way to end it.
Well, what he had too much going on in the show. There was too much bullshit going on, and I just think that it was.
I think
he tried to wrap too much into it.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think that he had to, because that's really what was going on with those people. They had.
I understand.
Everybody was a suspect.
Okay,
you know
I understand,
what I mean?
but so for one, they made this guy out to be their stalker or whatever, but he was also the guy who committed those murders. He killed his own family. He comes back, and then he had nothing in real life. That dude had nothing to do with that house. Nothing to do with that house.
Yeah, I think he was a neighbor, though. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he's from the same neighborhood. I don't think he has anything to do, because from what
I
I understand,
to look it up, but I'm pretty
sure that he's like old, like that story about him is old as fuck. Like, I think it's from like the 1950s or some shit.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to.
So I don't know.
I remember something about it.
It didn't make any sense, and then he's back, and nobody fucking knows who he is, and blah blah blah. Bullshit, dude.
Well, that was more a Ryan Murphy twist.
Yeah,
that was just a Ryan Murphy twist.
But I didn't like that.
But I don't know. I just don't know how you end it.
I agree. I don't know how you end it either. I still think that the dad pretty much losing it. They're in the last few episodes losing his shit over this fucking house. It's like, dude, you're moved away. Who cares? Stop obsessing over it. And then they give this stupid fucking reason about like why he needs to know. Like, no, he doesn't need to know. He just needs to wash his hands of it and be done with it.
Yeah,
Any capable person, especially a man of his stature, would understand this.
Sure, I can totally get behind that, but I can see why it would fuck with him. Like, yeah, I would probably need therapy for a little while just to deal with it, but I wouldn't like. I would be able to walk away.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, just because like there would be no reasoning, one of the worst parts of that is one of my biggest gripes.
One of my biggest fucking gripes about the whole show, though, the biggest thing I hated about it was the part where apparently that girl had snuck into the house while he was sleeping and the family wasn't there. Mm-hmm. She automatically gets mad at him and starts accusing him of shit.
Yeah, like
watch the fucking video.
Yeah, what did he do?
He was sleeping.
Yes,
the whole time.
I thought the same fucking thing.
And she gets mad. You need to explain yourself. What happened? Blah blah blah. Like, watch the video. Like,
yeah.
And everybody's like getting mad. I'm like, what are you mad about? Like, obviously weird shit has been going on. This is why I'm here and you're in a hotel.
That's exactly
and then
what
you're
I
mad
thought.
at me because I was sleeping?
That's what I thought too. I thought, okay, as his wife, you guys have been dealing with this weird shit together as a team. Yeah. And now this weird fucking video comes out and you're going to get mad at him?
Yeah.
The fuck?
I was fucking irritated by that. Yeah. I was like looking at Crystal, I was like,
I have got to be the weirdest fucking woman in the world because I'm sitting here watching this wife go, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, no, Crystal said the same thing.
Okay,
She's like,
good.
She was like, what?
Good.
I looked at her. I was like, "You see?" I was like, "I'm not wrong, right?" She's like, "No, that's fucking stupid."
Yeah, like,
I was like, "All right, good."
You guys are going through this weird shit. You guys are going through this weird shit together as a team. Something weird happens, and you're gonna get mad at him. Fuck you, whatever. Anyway.
And by the way, I also want to say that house is not as desirable as they make it out to be in the show. It's a nice house.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not fucking like, whoa, my God, wonderful, fantastic house.
Well, that's an embellishment anyway, because I don't think the real family ever actually moved out. They just dealt with it.
No, I think they did. I think they did.
I think they went bankrupt because of it.
I think they did move out. Yeah. I think they did move out.
I don't remember the story hardly at all. Then,
if I remember correctly,
maybe I'm thinking of the house. Maybe I'm thinking of the family that moved in after because they got letters too.
Yeah.
But they stayed.
They're like, fuck you.
Yeah, they were like, no.
Got other letters. Throw in the trash.
Yeah, they got letters too, but they didn't care.
I wouldn't care either. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, until we see something happen or there's a reason we need to be worried, you know.
Right.
Which I guess in the show they kind of, you know, there were things that happened, but still.
Yeah, I think that it was the family that moved in afterwards. They had letters, and I think they even had like some dead animals or something show up on the porch. Or so, there was some weird shit happen, but they were like, nah.
It's just
I don't care.
I just feel like it's a story that really didn't need to be told in a whole 7-episode series.
No, like
I felt like it would have made an alright movie. I guess
I watched the BuzzFeed True Crime episode on it. Did a good job.
Right.
And that was like, I don't know, 45-minute episode. Good to go.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, make them like an hour and a half movie out of this. Like, it doesn't need to be a series.
I don't think we need an hour and a half.
Just an hour docu-series.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, an hour and a half. I think that's going a little too far. Then I've been begging Jeremiah to watch this with me for a while, and couldn't make up her mind. And he finally was like, "All right, I'll fucking watch it." So we watched The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, the Demon Wind episode.
So long,
the Demon Wind episode.
But oh my god,
I love Joe Bob.
His shows are so long. He takes an hour and a half movie and turns it into a 2 hour.
I don't care. Movie. I love it. I find out so many things. I love it.
You guys are talking about
Joe Bob Briggs. It's on Shudder. He'll watch a movie. It's kind of like
Dinner Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah. Well,
except they don't sit.
They don't sit there and watch it.
He doesn't sit there in the movie and talk.
It cuts.
It cuts. It'll cut like a commercial, and he'll talk. And he'll talk about little tidbits about the movie, or he'll talk. He'll go on rants.
And I'm pretty
that
sure
have
he's
nothing
drunk
to do with
most
the
of the time.
movie.
He's got to be drunk.
He probably
the whole
is,
time.
but
I was thinking if we get if this starts to get pretty big, I was thinking we could do that. Like
sit in a movie theater and then just like
bitch. Well, there actually are podcasters that do party watches of movies with fans, and they'll like usually it's through their Patreon if you're a Patreon subscriber.
Oh yeah,
or something like that.
It would be something special.
Yeah,
sure.
And that they'll watch a movie like via
video
or whatever. All together, and
sure.
So, and then they'll be in a chat room talking to each other and stuff like that.
Sure.
So
I try to track you a chat room when I was young. I could not keep up with it, man, because I'm not a fast typer. I'm a
right.
And those chat rooms there, then I'm
then you type something, you'll type something, and like it just goes into like this endless thread of talk, and then like nobody even pays any attention to what you're saying.
Yeah. Like how do you even know? I don't know. Whatever.
I couldn't be in a chat room like that.
And then this was my random movie that I picked because it was just something, but it was on Shudder too, and it was called All About Evil. And it had
it all about evil?
Yeah. It was cool. It had Natasha Lyonne and Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, and Meek Stoll, which was in the movie we watched too. She was the one that got all those obscene phone calls.
Oh yeah.
But that movie had it was about a girl who inherited a theater from her dad. Like an old movie theater, kind of like the Sydney Theater, and it was kind of dying, and so she starts making like these movie shorts. It happens on accident because her bitch of a mother shows up and tells her that she has to sell the place, and she doesn't want to because like she really loved her dad, and she kills her mom. And
That's a little bit of an
it gets
overreaction.
no, her bitch. Her mom was a giant C word without the depth or the warmth. But anyway,
I know a word that rhymes with bunt.
Yeah. So she kills her mom, and it gets captured on video because they have cameras, and she accidentally like shows it in the theater, and everybody thinks it's just a short movie, and so everybody like really loves it. So then she starts doing that. She starts killing people, videoing it, putting it in the theater, and it's really good. But my favorite line out of the whole movie was at the end. She was gonna kill this girl, and one of the guys show up to like save her, and she says, like, what role are you playing? The hero? This isn't a comedy. It was really funny to me. Yeah, that was all I watched. So I guess we go into our movie now, right?
Yup. You got a synopsis?
I'm hosting. Stay the fuck out of my business.
Oh, my bad, dude. Shit, I'm used to hosting. We're only fucking 10.
Get out of
This is
my way.
episode 11. And
Yeah, well, get out of my way. You told me to do this. Stay
I
out
think
of
it's
it.
11. This is 11, ain't it?
I thought 11 was the last one.
Well, we did the
'cause
bonus episode.
yeah,
I didn't
so
count that
this-
as an episode.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess this would be 11. So Serial Mom, made in 1994, was rated R, 1 hour and 35 minutes. Starring Kathleen Turner, Sam Waterston, Ricky Lake, and Matthew Lillard. And the synopsis is she's the perfect all-American parent, a great cook and homemaker, devoted recycler, and a woman who will literally kill to keep her family happy. So, now from here, and it was directed and written by John Waters. So, yeah.
So she didn't even bother to wipe up that dead fly.
No, of course not.
On the.
So, wait,
on
are
the
we going
tail.
to do a would you recommend or would you watch again?
Well, that's
Oh,
kind of
is
where
that
I
what
was
it
going to
was?
go, but he
jumped right
yeah,
into
you
it.
jumped
I know,
right
like,
into it.
Sorry.
Diving in head first, boys.
Yeah, so go right ahead, Matt. Would you watch, recommend?
I used to watch it a lot when I was younger. I mean, because I kind of have to go into the mindset of if other people would. So I'd watch it again. I'd recommend it to the right people. There'd have to be a certain amount of people that were like into like serial killer type things. I'd probably be like, yeah, you should check this out. Pretty funny.
Okay.
Good movie.
All right. Joseph?
Um,
Don't be a fucking buzzkill.
so I would not watch again. But for certain people who I think that would like this movie, I would recommend to. I have gripes, man. I have gripes about this movie, but we'll get into it. And I wouldn't watch it again. No. No. If it was on, I think I'd say if it came on TV and everybody was watching it, I'd sit down and watch it. But I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. No.
Well, see, what I'm saying is I watched it a lot when I was a kid. Nowadays, I don't think I would really like be. I would if I like was flipping through channels.
I just think that this is one of those movies that there's a reason why there's not a huge cult following for it.
There is a huge cult following.
I don't
for it.
not really though. I'd never even heard of this movie until you mentioned it.
Oh my god.
So and
It's a
I'm
John
a movie
Waters
buff.
movie.
I don't care. Like I don't care.
That doesn't matter though. Like I can't believe you haven't heard of it. I have seen this movie a million times. I've heard
never
about
heard
it
of
from
it,
a
no.
million people.
That's what I'm saying. I've never heard of it, so I mean it can't be that big of a movie.
Because you're the end all be all.
I mean, well, I'm just saying,
How
like
full of
you would
yourself are
think
you?
would think that a movie from especially like the early to mid '90s, I would have heard about this, but I didn't. So
We've been keeping it a secret from you.
yeah, I guess
Specifically.
So. And this was like 2 years before God damn it, I just had a drew blank on his name. Shaggy. Scream.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard before he went on to do Scream.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and that pretty much blew his name into the cosmosis of superstardom. You know what I mean? Like,
Cosmos?
yeah, cosmosis.
Cosmosis.
So I'm just,
You're just
saying,
making up
and-
words now.
Yeah, I am. I'm the end all be all. Remember?
You're right.
Fucking. I don't know.
You
what
just
I
have
was
to
saying.
add curse words in everywhere.
Fuck yes, dude.
He does.
Fucking A right.
He does.
No, I was gonna say something. Pronouns. That's what I was.
Pronouns.
Pronouns.
That's where you're going with that. Yeah,
We're going back on that. We skipped that one for
It's been a couple episodes since we brought up pronouns.
Yeah, that's why I forgot what the word was.
Well,
But-
would recommend and would watch again. That's me.
Obviously,
Mm.
because she wanted to watch it again. She
Well, I'm
picked
just telling you.
I don't get me wrong. It's not a bad movie. Crystal fucking hated this movie. She
She
slammed it.
hates everything.
That's true. She does not like a lot of movies, but she did not like this movie. She said that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But I think that she was also kind of looking at it for it's a little dated. But for me, I think that the movie
It was supposed to be like more Leave It to Beaver kind of.
it was like
that's
a
the
Leave
whole
It to
point.
Beaver with a serial killer mom.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
the
I
whole
get what
point.
they were doing.
Yeah.
My problem with the movie though isn't the movie itself or the concept or anything that or even the actors except for Ricky Lake because I don't really like her, but it's the pacing and just everything is all over the place. So there's no so they just kind of jump right into it. So you're telling me that this lady for all these years has never killed a person, and then just decides, fuck it, I'm gonna go on a killing spree.
Well, see, and I've actually had that thought too, but I think it either goes one of two ways. One, she's been, obviously she has all this like stuff, right? Like all that stuff under her bed and everything.
Right.
So it's like one of two ways, right? So one, she's been a fan, she's fantasized, she's thought about it, she's all kinds of shit, and just one day, okay, I've had enough. Right?
But they don't even lead into that though.
Or the other way is she has been doing it and she's just gotten sloppy now.
Possibility, but again, they didn't lead into that. They didn't mention anything about why is she killing all these people back to back? Like, she starts out with the teacher all because she says that the son needs to maybe see a psychiatrist or whatever. That sends her over the edge.
Well, and I can tell you too, from the perspective of it being a John Waters movie, pacing is not his strongest suit.
Obviously.
You ever seen Crybaby?
Yeah, once or twice.
The same thing. The pacing is not necessarily
right.
there.
I believe that
that's his style. His style is not necessarily like to give you the whole picture.
I get it. The movie is supposed to be a little campy. Mm-hmm. I understand that, and I was past that. That didn't bother me.
Right.
I also didn't mind. I didn't mind some of the crazy acting. Even what's her name? The main character. What's her?
Kathleen
face?
Turner.
Even she was like, I loved watching her because she was very charismatic for the movie, but there were also certain just weird questions that I had, like, what the fuck questions, like I don't know, like, why did she take booze out to the fucking garbage men? What reason did she have?
Really, you just. And they're drinking on the job. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody gave a shit. so this lady over here in the jury stand can't wear white shoes after Labor Day.
Was hilarious.
But they're allowed to drink and drive a goddamn fucking garbage truck. But she's over here bitching at a teenager about wearing a seatbelt. Weigh it. You know what I mean? Like,
have you met a psychopath?
I guess. Yeah.
Does it have to make
sense?
And
I just want to say, what kind of sex were they having?
Yeah, no shit. That was hilarious.
That was a weird scene.
All right, I can let the sex go. What the fuck was that kid doing in that bed, Tara? Like, was he ripping it off?
That's what I thought too. Like their sex was like, I was like, is she fucking him or is he fucking her? 'Cause he's on top, but she's the one doing all the thrusting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's on top and he's like, and she's just like, ooh. And before he barely even touches her, she's already moaning.
Yeah.
And I just look back at Crystal like, they're not having sex yet, are they? Like, he's just touching her. Like, and she's like moaning very loudly.
She's just in the mood, she killed some people.
I guess, man. And then like,
she was caressing that picture of Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like,
made her hot.
Mm-hmm. But even though Charles Manson never killed anybody,
it doesn't matter. He's
true,
still part
I do want to bring up the fact that the one lady who was in the movie store, she comes in towards the end.
Oh yeah,
and she's
like, got killed by the lamb.
Yeah, the leg or whatever. She says she says Bill Cosby movies.
I wrote that down too.
I was like,
where did I write that?
I said the lady loves Bill Cosby movies. Who'd have thought that joke would be funnier today?
Yeah, I said, laugh my fucking ass. That wholesome lady at the store just loves Bill Cosby. Boy, that really held up well.
Yeah, I kind of thought the joke got better with time. If you think about it.
I heard her say that, and I actually went, I'm not going to write anything down.
I was just like, that's funny.
No, I loved it right from the get, because, again, I haven't watched this in a really long time, but, like, when they were talking about the Hillside Strangler, like, I did have, like, a little giggle right from the get, because they were, like, talking about the Hillside Strangler, and she was like, well, we all have our bad days.
I just put that as she wasn't paying attention to what they were saying, because she was after the fly at that part.
No, I feel like that was 100% her saying, hey, he's just another guy. He's just another killer.
And then when the cops show up and they're talking about, that the obscene phone calls, and they say something about, the P word.
The P word.
And the no woman would say that.
And then she automatically runs upstairs and says, hey, you fucking pussy.
No, the best thing about this movie is the obscene phone calls.
That is very true.
I love that scene when she walks up there. Is this the cocksucker residence?
Yeah, it's the cocksucker residence. Dude, whenever she does that, because me, like I said, I went into this movie not knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
But whenever that scene came, because she was like all this wholesome, and you're like, okay, yeah, she's a little off.
Is this the cocksucker residence?
And then she runs upstairs, gets on the phone, she's all excited about it.
Remember,
is this the cocksucker residence? You fucking pussy, blah blah. I was like, oh damn. I was like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like,
dude, that is, to me, that is the all-time best part in that movie. And then like she's fucking with that woman, like she's like, are those pussy willows? That's
pussy willows.
Fucking hilarious.
The funny thing is that reminded me of the day when you could walk into somebody's house, like your friend's house, and not have to worry about possibly getting shot. The days when you could just walk in people's houses. And then also I like to say she was wrong. The mom was about the meatloaf. That meatloaf was not made by my mother, and my mother makes the best meatloaf. So she lied.
Well, see, and like when they started to suspect her, this is the other thing. Like when they started to suspect the mother, and the first thing that the son says is, like, oh, Scotty thinks you're guilty. Why would you put your friend in the line of fire? Like when you think that your mom might be guilty.
But
you think your mom might.
Scotty was kind of a douche.
Well, he was. Yeah, for sure.
He was definitely a chronic masturbator.
Oh man, but
that dude really loved naked chicks. And that video he was watching while he was jerking it, I was like, who? That woman is a turnoff. Like her boobs are down to her knees, and like he's just like, yeah, and he's like, and he is fucking cranking.
Yeah, like I like how when they get to Scotty's house, you can hear the porn music outside.
Yeah,
like where was his parents? Like I don't know about you guys, but like if you're living with your parents, you ain't listening to it that loud. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I actually thought that when I first watched the movie, like not this time, but when I was younger, I thought that his parents were the ones being killed.
Oh yeah, that's it's like a red herring. You're supposed to think that. And, yeah.
I just want to go on the record and say camel lips. So whenever they go into the thing and into the show, the concert, for one, I thought it was kind of dumb at first, but dude, for one, them fucking chicks rock. So like that one girl was really getting into
they're a real
it.
Band.
I believe that. But like then like I saw the name of their band and it said Camel Lips on the thing, and then it automatically went to a crotch shot of the girl.
See, that's what I'm saying. How can you hate John Waters so much? That is hilarious. That's the shit right
I'm just
there.
like the little subtle fucking things in this
It's
movie.
really far in this movie because I still got things like I want to know why people liked Franklin mint eggs. Like why?
The Fabergé eggs.
Is that why?
They're really expensive. They're like
So is that the only reason?
No, I mean I don't get it, but like I don't get why people like certain ceramics. You know what I mean?
They don't. That's not really anymore though. That was a hot thing back then.
Yeah,
like nowadays you don't see it.
It's more of a elderly
thing.
But back in the day, like a Fabergé egg for like a mint one could cost you like $2,000 or $3,000.
I remember my mom had this like angel thing. It was like a ceramic thing at our house whenever we were kids, and we broke it. Mm-hmm. Well, like they were out drinking and like our friends were over. We were listening to Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff, and
I used to love that song.
And we didn't break it on purpose. I think somebody bumped it and it fell over and broke. So we glued it back together, and for the longest fucking time, we prayed to God that my mom didn't have to clean it. Because we glued it was on the back side of this like angel.
Oh God.
And we had to glue it back together. And so for the longest time we were like, I think for like 2 or 3 weeks we were praying that she would not look at that thing. Because you don't understand, my mom was brutal. She was mean. So like anything got broken, like I was like, I don't want to die today. You know what I mean? Like, but that was like one of her, because she collected little knickknacks and ceramics like that, and that was one of the ones that I know she liked the most. And just a little side story there on ceramics, just so you know how people think that they're important.
That's a thing back in the day, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, a fire poker would not go in that far. And what was it? Was that his liver?
I think it was his liver. I think.
Yeah, because I was like, what is that? Is that a liver?
Yeah. It's supposed to be campy like that, though. You know what I mean?
And then she's like disgusted by touching it.
I know.
She's like, ew.
Yeah, it's a little...
And then what was that guy doing next to the glory hole in the fucking bathroom?
He's a serial
Yeah,
writer.
yeah,
Did you notice that?
yeah. Did you
'Cause
see him
he's
do it
also
in the courthouse?
Yeah, I sniff jurors' underwear or something like
Yeah,
that.
so I just sniffed the jury's underwear or something.
Like, here's the other thing.
Oh, hold on. I want to stop you right there. The bathroom thing.
Yeah.
The guy that comes in and discovers the corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
then
great
yells.
scream.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is in everything. Like back in the early and mid
Isn't that
'90s.
the Wilhelm scream?
Yeah,
Or
something like that. It was like a scream that I think came from a James Bond movie or something. Like I don't remember, but like it was a scream that was used.
Yeah, it's in
prominently.
it's in Temple of Doom. It's in
Yeah.
like every
There's-
fucking
there's
movie.
also-
It's still in movies.
Actually,
today.
they used
use
it in they used it in All Real Monsters in the beginning.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
opening.
There's also another one that you hear a lot, like when people are like, a lot of people are fighting is oh or something like that. It's. I would have to get a recording.
Yeah.
Of it, but it's like
You know what one
No, I
they-
think I know which one you're
You know
talking
which one
about,
they
though.
should go back and reuse from an old movie? From The Crow. The part where the guy says, "What the crap?" They should go and reuse that one for a lot of movies. I think if I ever became a director, I would use that one in a lot of shit. Like just some guy randomly going, "What the crap?"
kind of like in sometimes like Rob Schneider movies. You're like in one of his movies, you're that's a big bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
And, like yeah, because if like watch Rob Schneider and Will and
Or you can
Adam
do it.
Sandler's and stuff. Yeah, you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah,
You can do it all night long.
those little cameos from Saturday Night Live skits they put. I love those things.
I hated Misty's character, like, and I hated her the first time I watched this movie, but like when her mom's named as a suspect and she's like, well, no, I'll never get a boyfriend. I'm
I
like,
could not stand Ricky.
Really?
Dude, Ricky Lake
Really?
in this fucking movie drove me insane.
Well, I think she's
that's
supposed
what-
to.
I,
though.
yeah,
I think she's.
I even
she's
wrote it
supposed to
down
be
like the
that.
daughter is a hoe.
Well, I think she's supposed to be, right?
I think
She's-
so too, but
you know, like,
she was driving me fucking. I couldn't.
well,
stand
she was
her, dude.
in Crybaby too. There's actually a bunch of like Mink Stole and Ricky
she-
Lake.
Wasn't she in? Wasn't she a talk show host?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah, she had her own like Oprah type show.
yeah.
I remember hearing a joke about her. It was like, did you hear about Ricky Lake? No. Did you hear about? It was something about like, they found her face down in Ricky Lake, or something like that. It was. Did you hear about Rosie O'Donnell? They found her face down in Ricky Lake. It was an old joke.
Or Ellen
never heard of
DeGeneres, I guess. I don't know. That's funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't. I never watched the Ricky Lake show, but like her in this fucking movie drove me insane. And what's funny is she's actually as an older lady, she's actually prettier now than she was then.
Yeah.
So like, because
Well,
I just
that happens every once in a while with women that are actors. Look at oh gosh, Katie Siegel.
trying to think of who that
Peggy?
is.
That's Peggy Bundy.
I don't think that she was ever attractive. I don't think she's attractive at all.
I have a thing for redheads, so
Yeah, but she's not like.
My lesbian crush is Natasha Lyonne.
Who's that? Which one's that?
Orange is the New Black. Nikki.
The main character?
No, Nikki.
The,
American Pie. She was
oh yeah,
What's-her-face's
she's also on Russian Doll.
yeah, Russian Doll.
Yeah, she's all right. Yeah, I don't. She's
Oh
okay.
no, I like my women trashy.
Yeah, she's trashy.
That's what I'm talking about.
She's very trashy.
Ah,
She's got a
well.
new show coming out now
The
too.
things I would do to that woman.
Also, there's
Jesus Christ.
how do you not know your,
That was why I picked All About Evil. I'm like, oh, she's in that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's watch
yeah,
that.
yeah.
how do you not know that your wife has a scrapbook of killers?
I don't think he knew a lot about his wife, to be
Yeah,
honest.
apparently, yeah. But how do you not see something's wrong with your wife a long time before? Like, because she's very, very weird, you know. And then like,
Well, I think that's I mean, really, the whole point of this movie is it's over the top. It's
Yeah, it's
supposed,
supposed
to
to
be,
be,
right?
yeah.
But like, there's a lot of real life scenarios you could throw at this, right? There's a lot of serial killers out there that, you know, had everybody fooled for years. BTK killer, He was married for how long?
He was a
Had
family
kids.
man.
Yeah.
You know,
He stopped
I mean,
for like 3 years, didn't he?
right? Like, you know, that's the point, I guess, that the underlying point that I guess this is, you know, could make is to say that, you know, you don't truly know. Right, you think you know.
You've
but,
seen his court cases, haven't you?
Yeah.
He just tells the story of killing those people with such a straight face. He has no empathy
emotion,
at all.
no emotion, nothing.
So did Jeffrey Dahmer.
You know, Jeffrey Dahmer. One of those videos I watched on that Treasure Christ, as they were talking about Jeffrey Dahmer converted to Christianity at the end.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was baptized and everything.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I had it in my brain, and
Your brain piece.
and then the part in the courtroom whenever they're on trial and they bring in what's his name, the guy, the guy with the glory hole.
Weeping Tom.
And he's like she's just under here like moving her legs.
Yeah.
And he's
Well,
like
I
having
think-
an orgasm up on the stand. I'm like, what is she doing?
I think from where he's sitting,
he can see her underwear.
Well, I think she's probably not wearing underwear. I think
Yeah, but why is she moving her legs like that?
I don't know. Maybe that's what he's into.
Because she realized what it was doing to him. He was just a perv. That's some pervs are like that.
I don't know, man. That was a weird part. I thought that was kind of like, what the fuck is
I don't
going
know.
on?
Whatever it is, it works.
The old couple that she killed, those people were disgusting eaters.
They were nasty people anyway.
And then it goes like into this whole flashback of like how she loves birds. She's like getting mad at them for eating chicken because she loves birds so much.
I was like, why is she like people eat chicken? Does she not? Like, do they only eat red meat in her house?
Yeah,
like,
so come on. Like you don't love cows or what?
Oh man, like and I got a question though too. Like, so going back to Scotty, how did they become friends with him? He doesn't seem like he fits in at all.
He has a car.
Maybe
a really nice car at that.
Oh, that GTO baby.
Maybe they became his friend when he wasn't a porn fiend.
Saying, maybe they were like childhood friends, and like he got really.
I guess you grow
really
up
porn.
and you're just still friends with somebody because you've always been friends. I don't know.
It's so funny because I remember him from Child's Play 3.
Yeah.
And he was also in Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of different movies.
Yeah, and I'm just like and then he was also in like a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at him in this movie, and I'm like, huh.
You fucking perv.
Yeah.
Also, the church scene had no idea that sneezing on a baby would cause so much chaos.
Yeah, and then he did.
Okay, you can bitch about her giving them alcohol all you want, but those trash guys came through for her multiple times.
That's true. He was like they were punching people in the face and shit.
In the courthouse, in the church. I mean, like those guys were coming through.
The son and the girlfriend help her escape the church. And then, from what I understand, like I don't know why they didn't pick her up before she went in the church, but I don't know.
Well, they explained that because they couldn't pick her up until they matched the fingerprint.
Yeah.
On whatever it was that they had.
They were sure it's her, but they wanted like concrete.
So all those cops, and she still managed to evade them all.
Yeah.
Through a
she
church.
sneezed on a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
There was a giant melee.
How many cops were still inside the fucking church or outside
all of
the
them.
church?
They were all outside.
They were outside the church.
No, they were all in the church. They all went in.
Not all the cops.
Yeah.
No.
They all went in.
I think you're defending this movie on basis that you didn't see them.
I'm telling you, they all went in. Did you not see them all come out of their cars and go in?
Yeah.
No.
They sneak kind of in the seats. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also,
you guys are fucking stupid.
No, I'm not.
No, we're not.
I'm really not trying to.
I don't remember seeing that part, but I don't know.
Then you're blind.
Blonde or blind?
In the heck? I said blind.
Okay.
I might have said blonde.
Yeah.
But who lets their dog lick their feet? Because not me.
That was weird.
Like mama's toes.
And if that was not the fastest screening of Annie ever, like she turns it on and like I don't know. It was okay.
Wasn't that just the beginning?
I think it was just the beginning.
No, it was at the beginning, and then like they was showing the credits. You know, like their faces next to it, and then at the end it was like the credits that roll.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was still the beginning.
I thought it was still too, but now because
so like how long were they standing out there trying to look in?
Well, see, I want to comment on that because like the girlfriend, dude, she was like, she like they're all into horror movies and all this gore.
Yeah,
and shit.
but she was like, "Oh, it's not like
It's
the
not like in the
movies."
movies. Like she got bashed over the head with a fucking lamb's leg, dude.
Which
like
is the best death scene I've ever seen.
yeah. But like I'm like,
how
why
she-
are you
she
getting
picks
grossed
up
out
the
by
knife,
this?
A very viable weapon.
Yeah.
And then goes, "No."
No. Death by lamb leg.
Yeah.
Also, bad to run with a knife.
Depends on how good
She
you
was
are with
chasing somebody and she was running with the knife. Like, it was pointed this way.
it. So did you guys watch Bodies?
Not yet. I'm
Okay,
getting there.
Well, you sent me that. Was it you that sent me the TikTok or the thing of the girl with the knife?
No, that was Alec.
Was that Alec?
That was Alec.
So she was doing that, and
Yeah.
it just, I was like, oh my god.
I know. I seen that, and I was like, "Why would she be using a real knife?"
She was using a knife, and then like
Yeah,
it cut her
shut you.
across the eye, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember.
I was kind of
commenting, though.
scared for her. Like I was
I
watching her
remember-
do it. I was like, no, what are you doing?
I commented though because I was like, "Why would she be using a real knife?
What's
like
going
what
on?
an idiot!" Why won't it show fucking up? I don't.
Just
wanna-
send it to him later.
Yeah.
I sent a Christian thing out today. It was a video of this guy telling people that God has a plan for you.
Was he using it? Like, did he have a cross in his hand doing a stabby motion like this girl?
Joseph, stop.
What?
Calm down.
I am trying to be a good Christian.
You are a good Christian.
I
don't have to be
No.
good. You have to be good.
What I'm actually trying to do is I want to start spreading like the glory of God. I want to start talking more about Jesus and God and stuff. I know Karen probably isn't caring, but I know you're like, I'm sorry, I love Jesus. Just to let you know.
So anyway, back to the movie.
I think this is nobody cared about the dead body on stage.
I don't really know.
But to be fair, Scotty was a dick. So I mean,
So it's okay to just leave his.
Do you think that maybe that's where the Scotty doesn't know?
no.
Scotty doesn't know.
You know that made me mad because they said his name in that, and I was like, no, get out of my head.
Scotty doesn't.
That's stuck in your head.
Scotty doesn't know.
Like he
Every
was
time
a
I hear
dick.
the name Scotty now.
Yeah,
Kind of.
and I always think of Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I thought it was hilarious when they said the one lawyer's name and it was Nasal Rod.
Nasal Rod. Yeah.
I wanted to write
The
something down.
fuck's name is Nasal
I was like, they said
Rod.
his name, and then I was like, wait, what did they say? And then they said, and then he got up and said his name again. He said his name was Nasal Rod. I'm like, why the fuck is his name Nasal Rod? I mean, I don't even know, like, is that supposed to be a joke? Or, because I don't understand the joke.
No, I don't think it was a joke. I just thought it was hilarious. And I don't care what you say. Her having a problem with her shoes was hilarious to
Dude,
me.
that was like
her fucking lawyer's up there trying to get her, like, off. And she's up there like...
And then he changed it to she's crazy. She's insane.
Yeah, she's crazy.
And she stands up and is like, Your Honor, I choose to represent myself. I'm firing my legal team.
Oh, because she's wearing white shoes. White
shoes after Labor Day.
You know?
White shoes after Labor
He's
Day.
like, she's fucking crazy.
That's the one part that I remembered the most. That she kills the woman for wearing white shoes at the end.
Yeah.
In the courthouse.
Yeah, after she just got off.
Yeah.
At the prime of the century, and she gets off.
And then she goes and kills somebody right after the fucking
And then
One of the
court case.
people that was on her side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also remembered that the one guy was addicted to porn.
Oh.
I couldn't remember who he was, though, because I know I've seen him before. I just couldn't remember what his name was. But I remember he was in this movie and he was addicted to porn.
So I just want to go on record as to say Matthew Lillard definitely went on to be in Scream. Like his character in this movie is the same character in Scream. Only he just took after his mom.
Yeah. 100%. This was his origin story. That's why you don't really.
That's what I'm thinking. It's
Yeah.
an origin. It's actually an origin story for what's his name, Stewie.
Stuart.
So this is
They
definitely
changed
a Stu.
his name because they didn't want him to be.
Yeah, right,
yeah.
right. For legal reasons.
Right.
But like this is definitely just a Stu origin story. Like his mom was a serial killer. Now he's
100%.
because you never see his parents.
Correct.
In Scream.
Correct.
But they're going to be mad. They're going to be
They're
upset.
gonna be mad because. But
Well,
the only
of
reason
course
why
they will.
He got
Did
caught.
you see the house?
Yeah.
Like the mess he made in
yeah,
that house.
his mom's gonna be mad,
My God.
and the fact that he got caught because she was calling the cops, his parents were gonna be mad at him.
You know what else I found really funny is in like the jury or in the courthouse when she's like, you know, asking everybody questions, and she gets that one lady again, the one that she was making the obscene phone calls, and she gets her to start calling her a motherfucker and a cocksucker in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And
then she gets 5 days in jail.
Yeah, and then she's talking to Mrs. Ackerman. She's like, "Do you recycle?" No. Everybody's like, you know?
I stopped it because I have this weird thing where whatever I write down, I have to talk about. There were so much things I wanted to write down, but I was like, nah, because it might just.
I actually took less notes on this movie than I have any movie before it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to say. Because I'm like watching the movie, I'm like, I don't even know if I should write this down. Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, is this a? Like, I don't want to write it down and then ask about it and look like a dumbass for asking about it because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, see, that's
but that, like I said, was a pacing issue for me, like for the movie.
Like,
yeah, I think that's just a John Waters thing. All of his movies have, like, almost every single one that I can think of, at least the ones that I've seen. There's almost always some kind of.
Is John Waters the guy who plays the dad?
No.
Is he even in the movie?
No.
Because I think I don't know who John Waters is then.
He did Crybaby. You know the Lonely Island song. Yeah, I can't remember. I'll show it.
Jizz in My Pants.
Explosions.
No, it was one of their more recent ones. He was in the music video because they talk about having a John Waters mustache.
Oh, I don't watch Lonely Island stuff anymore. I'm not really into their music anymore.
John Waters is like this skinny, weird-looking dude.
Yeah,
with a weird
but
mustache.
all of his movies sort of have a pacing problem because
he's got ADD apparently,
well, no, I
or
think
ADHD.
that's like his style. He does things that like he doesn't want the whole story, I guess, to be.
This story was written by if you took a monkey with ADHD and a stoner monkey, put them in a room together and said, with a typewriter, and said, "Here, write us a movie."
Why do they both have to be a monkey?
Because they're monkeys. Okay, well, fucking
what kind
chimpanzees.
I don't understand because it's pretty coherent.
Yeah.
Okay, children, teenagers. One with ADHD and one who's a stoner. Here's a typewriter, write us a movie. That's what happened.
Why can't you just get a stoner with ADHD?
I don't know that. I mean,
then you don't have to pay two people. You don't have to pay one.
I mean, he's not wrong.
All I'm saying is, like, all of his movies have that, like, where there's always some kind of element that's missing to the story or not explained very well, you know?
Right.
Like in Crybaby, and it's been a while since I've seen Crybaby.
That's the one with Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah. But I never quite understood why, like, everybody was just, like, cool with the fact that he was a crybaby. Like, it was fine that he cried all the time. And, like, that girl was so in love with her boyfriend for, like, the first 10 seconds of the movie and then was ready to just throw him over for Johnny Depp. Now, I get it on a level.
A Johnny Depp level?
On a level, right? But I don't understand it from the movie. You know, they don't explain any of that stuff very well, but it's a pacing thing, right? It's
right.
But that's what his movies are. All of his movies have that to a certain extent.
Is it a disease that makes them cry?
I don't know.
They
never explain that.
There's a disease.
But she does it later in the movie. It's a thing. Like, they all do it, apparently.
Just cry?
It's a thing. Yeah. Like, there's one scene where she cries into, like, a glass, and then she drinks it. I remember that because I remember going, ugh.
I've seen Crybaby before. I don't like that movie either. I don't like that movie. And it's actually a musical.
Yeah, it's a musical.
So
yeah.
I didn't. It's one of my least favorite musicals. I watch Grease all day, but I can't watch that.
I love Grease.
I hate Grease.
I like Grease.
I'm not a fan. I told you Suzanne Summers was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was wondering the whole time, like, where the fuck is Suzanne Summers? If she's
I figured you would be. I was like, he's.
And then they're like, Suzanne Summers is interested in playing Serial Mom. I'm like, okay, really? She's gonna play herself? And then she came in as Suzanne Summers, and I'm like, I really wanted her to kill Suzanne Summers. You know what I mean?
Did you see at the end? Like, that was hilarious.
Yeah, she went off on her.
Yeah,
like,
and then she was like, oh shit. I loved when they called her Henrietta Lee Lucas. That was hilarious to me.
Why?
Henry Lee Lucas? His famous serial killer.
Oh yeah,
They did that with a couple names, didn't they?
No, that was the only one that they used.
I thought they used
that was the only one I remember.
I remember Suzanne Summers coming into the courtroom and everybody's like gawking over her, and I'm like,
It's because at that point, that's when Suzanne Summers was a hottie. That's like
well, she was a hottie back during Three's Company, but then she went on to do was it Step by Step?
I don't think she was ever very good.
I didn't think so. She was hot in like,
but no, what I'm
Three's
saying,
Company, but like later on, like even during this movie right here, like I was like, she's not attractive.
The reason I never thought like in Three's
at
Company.
That point she was just at that point, and the thing that's what she was like known as one of like the what are they called the Hollywood hotties is what I guess they would call them. She was one of the people that was said to be pretty in Hollywood, just like Farrah Fawcett and them.
Well, I think maybe that's like the attractiveness changes throughout. Farrah Fawcett and like Suzanne Summers were pretty in that time, right? That there's a type, right? Those type of women were found attractive then. I don't know. I always thought her face was too long, and then she, especially in Three's Company, she always had her hair in those pigtails.
I never thought her face was too long. I just didn't think she looked like every other blonde to me. I just didn't think she was that attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying she's ugly, but she is. She's
attractive. Not ugly, no.
She is attractive. I don't think that she's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like,
not my type. She's not trashy enough.
Yeah. Not trashy enough for me either.
Because remember, Karen likes them trashies.
I like them trashy.
She likes them trashy.
I do.
Cigarette hanging out of their mouth and baby on their hip.
I don't know about the cigarette anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty.
I don't want any babies. No, I don't need that.
So I guess you don't like them that fucking trashy.
No, I like them to look trashy. I
just want them to look trashy.
I just want them to look trashy.
Well, that is looking trashy. Cigarette in their mouth and a fucking baby on their hip.
Natasha Lyonne has neither, and she's
I found out that I found out that I like.
She does smoke, actually.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you don't see it like in most of her movies or whatever. Like, in Russian Doll.
The girl that you're talking about, she's the one with the real poofy hair, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I know who you're talking about. She was.
I do think that she would be fun to hang out with.
Wasn't she in American Pie?
Yeah, so
she was also in So I'm a Cheerleader or something like that. About the lesbians who have to go to camp, or the lesbian that goes to this camp or whatever for lesbians to try to turn her gay or whatever.
To turn her gay?
Or turn her straight, I'm sorry. To try to make her straight again.
What is this?
It's called So I'm a Cheerleader or something like that. It's got Clea Duvall in it too.
Is there lesbian sex in the movie?
I don't know that. No, it's a comedy. It's like a dark. I mean, it's like a dark comedy.
Oh.
So
I think I know what you're talking about.
Or I think it's called So What If I'm a Cheerleader or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But I didn't care for the movie, but I thought there were parts about it that were funny to me because it was one of those things where like you're trying to turn gay people straight. Like I don't think it really works that way. It's
called a conversion camp.
Yeah, conversion camp. That's what it is. So
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was really, really. It's not a movie that would be made today.
I don't know, dude. Did you ever hear about the horror movie they made called Them They?
Yeah, with Kevin Bacon, and it bombed.
I haven't watched that yet.
I heard it bombed. I
haven't watched it either. I thought about it, and then
it was basically a whole bunch of gay people went to a conversion camp, and that's all I know about it. It was about a conversion camp.
Well, if it's the way I think it's going to turn out, then there's a reason I didn't watch it, I guess.
All right. Anyway.
Well, I didn't even hear about it until it bombed.
Oh.
So
I remember hearing about it.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me go over my notes here.
Well, you guys used to talk about how you watch previews and stuff. I don't do that. I watched once it was like it was like a 35-minute video, and it was just different movies. And I was like, these movies are like science fiction, and I like science fiction. I was like, none of these look good.
I ain't really good. All right.
A lot of the stuff that I know about is usually stuff Jeremiah tells me about because I don't usually have time to really.
He has an interest in it. You just hear it.
Like that Peter Pan thing. He told me about it at dinner.
That's how I am though too. Like Crystal don't know nothing about like movies or anything coming out. She actually asks me every once in a while, like, any new movies out? Because she has no fucking idea. And then we went and saw Black Adam the other week, and I was like, hey, we should go watch Black Adam. She's like, what's that? You know, there's been advertisement all over the place for this movie, and it's even got The Rock in it. It's like a AAA title.
How often do you guys watch cable?
We don't watch cable, but I watch YouTube and things like that. And she's on Facebook. There's advertisements for her all over Facebook, and she didn't even know what it was. I had to show her a trailer for this movie to see if she wanted to go watch it.
Is Black Adam, is he a hero or is he an anti-hero?
He would be more like an anti-hero. He's like a good bad guy, I guess. He's like your Deadpool or something, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So he was mostly a bad guy though in the comic books.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember. I know I've heard of him before, but I couldn't remember if he was good.
And don't get me wrong, like The Rock did a great job. But
I heard that it was a good movie, and apparently it shattered box offices.
Yeah, it's killing it at the box office.
Yeah, I don't know. So everybody got everything through their notes?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everybody
I've covered everything as far as I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do I do reviews or do you?
You do.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do Meta because that was the first one that popped up for me.
You don't want to get our scores first?
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what I'm gonna pull up. So.
Do they not have it on Rotten Tomatoes or?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I've never done this before, so I just typed it in and
okay,
that was the
that's
first one
fine.
that popped
Whatever
up
you want
for
to
me.
do, I don't care.
So I'm just letting you guys know that's what I pulled up, so you can be prepared for when it's time for me to ask you that.
Okay.
So go ahead, Matt. What's your review on it?
Oh, I gave it a 5.
Okay.
It was just like it was dated, and I liked that. But like when I was a kid, I liked it for some. I don't know what it was, but it was just like you know, it was a movie. That's really all I can really say about it. Is it also it was a lot shorter than I remember.
It does jump right into it and kind of just like move very quickly.
Like I remember it having a little bit more of like a longer runtime, and it's just.
I couldn't see this movie being any longer though. I think that it's got a decent runtime, an hour and a half.
The runtime is fine in my opinion.
Like I think that like if it had been any longer, I think it would have really just. It would have drove it down for me. So
yeah,
I like the fact I do want. I mean, it is a little crazy how fast it goes, and the pacing is a little wild, but how quickly it moves along.
I think the reason for it is there. All of the all of the important pieces are there, and
exactly.
Is it really based on a true story, or is that just something they're doing for a joke?
It's completely satire.
Okay, because I knew it because it's. Could be something that was
it's complete satire.
Okay.
And then that is part of the satire. They threw it in there as part of satire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I don't think this movie is based on reality because I never remember hearing about somebody who was like that.
No, it's 100% satire.
Okay. But also, did anybody also realize that the guy who was addicted to porn wanted to puke when they were watching a movie that they cut off a head and had no blood?
Yeah, it wasn't really as gory. Like, dude, that's what you're getting
it's
sick
funny
over.
because of the psychological perspective, that the connection between sex and gore and horror.
Yeah,
well, there's a connection in your brain. And most people that have hypersexuality usually are into that stuff. So it's kind of funny to see a movie where a guy that
is hardcore
into porn, and he's like, nope, can't do that.
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
I doubt it.
No, probably not. It was probably more played for laughs. I mean,
in a movie like this, I can't see them trying to play on
there's definitely
psychological fucking.
I only know that because of my background, but like it was funny to me because there is that connection in the brain, I guess.
It's so weird that this movie came out when it did, because if you think about it, when this movie came out, like it was the same year that Jeffrey Dahmer had been was killed in prison. It was only a few years after they executed John Wayne Gacy, and shit like that. So like serial killers, you think that this would have been like something that was like not funny to them, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. John Waters really doesn't give a shit.
Obviously, but I also believe that this is one of the reasons why this movie might have failed.
Well, so, he doesn't care about that either.
I understand that, but I'm just saying that that's what I think it could have been to do with.
Maybe, but like I don't know. He doesn't really care, and to further point out, he probably did that on purpose. To be honest. If I'm being honest about that, he probably did it on purpose. He likes to poke when it hurts. So
That's okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
sure,
I like people who like to.
he likes
Yeah.
controversy.
I like that though.
Yeah.
I like people who don't give a fuck and like, you know what though, you got to laugh at it, man, because that's the best way.
He really doesn't, and yeah, that's sort of the perspective he would take with this is that, you know, he would say, you know, in this case, this is just ridiculous, people. Like this is ridiculous,
Right.
And it's just fun. Like just
It's not
take
meant
it for
to
what
offend.
it is.
It's not meant to offend. It's
Take
just
it for what
meant
it
to be
fucking
laughed
is,
at.
and
Yeah.
just deal. You know,
Right.
that's exactly what he would have been going for. But
So
nowadays, people would get all offended and shit.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So 5 from Matt. Got anything more for? No. Okay. Joseph.
So the movie. Okay, so the movie's not bad. The movie just, it's got bad pacing issues, and there's a lot of things where like they just leave it open ended, like they don't even they just jump right into it. You know what I mean? So like without explaining anything, which kind of bothered me. Mostly just like how she just kind of jumped into killing people. You know what I mean? They don't even ease into it. They don't kind of just let her her character develop at all. They just go, she's a house mom, now she's a serial killer. So
I came up with my 2 theories over years. It wasn't
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, but other than that, like I loved seeing like Matthew Lillard in a role that could have been like I said, a Stu origin story.
And you can see where he almost plays off of that in Scream later.
A little bit, yeah. I hated Ricky Lake. I wanted to punch her in the face throughout the entire movie. The dad was just kind of there. And then like,
but you
like,
can see how all those characters are supposed to play off each other.
Right,
like that,
yeah.
though, you know?
And
I kind
then
of want a pin that says gas chamber with an X through it. Like he was wearing.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want that. I don't think many people would
I
get
want
the
some
joke.
Serial Mom merch.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'd probably wear it too.
Yeah.
Especially some Camel Lips merch.
Yeah, that's what I want
Yeah.
some Serial Mom.
I would
merch.
definitely wear
the Serial Mom merch that they were selling at her
Like the
hearing.
shirt with
oh,
her,
yeah,
her
yeah.
face.
I
on
would
it
definitely
and
wear
stuff.
like a Camel Lips like band t-shirt or something like that.
The only cereal I know about is Rice Krispies.
Yeah. But aside from that, I mean, the movie's not terrible. Like I said, it's just got some pacing issues. It is better than Cry Baby. I will give it that. I don't like Cry Baby.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I'll give it a 5.5. Just because it's not a bad movie, and I think that, like I said, if it was on TV or somebody said, "Hey man, you want to check out this movie?" I'd be like, "Well, not really, but I'll watch it." You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, it's kind of like whenever The Mummy 3 comes on. You're not a fan of it, but you love Brendan Fraser.
Well, yeah, I guess
So-
that's true. But I love Brendan Fraser, but I'm not gonna watch The Mummy 3.
You're right, actually. This actually has more rewatchability than The Mummy 3.
I will because I like the abominable snowman in it.
But I'll give it a 5.5. It was a good movie, I guess, for what it was and for the time. And I just love Matthew Lillard. I'll watch anything with him. So that's my score.
So you watch the Scooby-Doo movies?
Yes.
Do you ever see that movie? I think it has Brendan Fraser in it. It's a Looney Tune movie. And they go to a cafeteria and Matthew Lillard is in it getting yelled at by Shaggy. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo are yelling at him because he made Shaggy look like a space cadet. And
No.
Matthew Lillard was like, "No, I tried to do it, you know," and Shaggy and Scooby were generally just mad.
That sounds great.
I think it's the one with Brendan Fraser.
I know I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember that scene. I'd have to go back and rewatch that one. It's not a good Looney Tunes movie, but it did have Brendan Fraser.
in it.
Did you know that he's talking about, like, here's some movie news for you. He's actually going to start working out again. He wants to get back in shape.
Yeah, because
why
like
wouldn't he?
his
I mean-
his back was the reason, right? He threw out
He had something wrong with him, yeah, that fucked him up, and I think it was his back from doing the Tarzan movies or something. And
He didn't do Tarzan. He did George of the
George
Jungle.
of the Jungle. I'm sorry. But yeah, he fucked up his back and all that stuff. But
I
yeah.
would watch him again. I still think he's a good actor.
Oh, for sure. I'll watch Brendan Fraser all day. He's a sweet. He's fucking.
I think the
sweetheart,
last thing
you know?
I seen him in that I really enjoy, well, I didn't really enjoy it, but it was.
We might as well just call this fucking podcast the Brendan Fraser podcast.
Yeah,
because we're always gloating on it, like, Brendan Fraser.
We love him so
much.
What was it? Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
And then the other one had The Rock in it, which I didn't understand why.
Did you guys ever watch Harvey Birdman? You reminded me of that when you were talking about Shaggy and Scooby. The very first episode is Shaggy and Scooby get arrested because it's a Hanna-Barbera
Harvey
character.
Birdman, yeah.
Yeah, they get arrested because
was it Harvey Birdman, attorney at law?
Yeah.
No, I've seen a little bit of it. I never watched it.
Isn't he like the attorney over the Hanna-Barbera?
For all the Hanna-Barbera characters, and they get arrested for weed possession.
Oh.
No, really?
Yeah, that was the very first episode, but my favorite episode is I can't remember the name of it, but it was Ernie Devlin, which was kind of like one of those Hanna-Barbera characters that nobody's ever heard of, but he was like a stunt guy, kind of like Evel Knievel. And this kid was watching Ernie Devlin cartoons.
Wasn't he a dog or something?
No, he was just a dude on a motorcycle. But he was watching Ernie Devlin cartoons and decided to try it out and fucking broke every bone in his body. So they decided to sue Ernie Devlin. And so they're suing Ernie Devlin, and Harvey's sitting there and his assistant behind him is like, he's faking it. And he's like, how do you know? And he's like, I seen him scratch his nose. So Harvey goes up and he's questioning this kid. and he's asking him all these questions. And then he goes up behind him and he's like, little Timmy who can walk, and dumps him out of the wheelchair. And he can't walk. I mean, everything's broken. And it's even worse because he dumps him out of the wheelchair and he's all like, and he goes back and he's like, I thought you said he was... He said, I thought you said he was faking it. And he said, yeah, when they were peeling him off of the pavement, I seen him go...
I need to find Harvey Birdman.
It's the funniest thing ever. All of that. I mean, every episode has at least one laugh out loud moment. But yeah, that one's my favorite one.
I remember Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah. I love Space Ghost.
They have a song by the Manus guy, I forget what his name is, and Brack. It's I Like Girls. I Like Girls.
I don't know what it was, but like old school Cartoon Network was the shit.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, because you had, and then I loved Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, anyway.
Yep. Okay, so, obviously, for me, like, this, I think this was probably the second John Waters movie I'd seen, because I grew up watching Crybaby. I guess everybody'd seen Crybaby or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was a John Waters movie. I'd just seen it several times. And never really thought much one way or the other. But then, like, as I got older, I would watch it again and again, and it really fit my humor. I kind of have that dark and, you know... Like when she says, you know, everybody has their bad day when they're talking about a hillside strangler.
Yeah.
Like that's hilarious to me. Like that is hilarious. So like that resonates with me, the whole humor of the movie, and the fact that it's so kind of like you almost miss it. It's light, you know, the humor and the wit, and it's very slight. And the pacing, I get what you're saying, because like I said, that's the one thing that has always stuck with me, and that's where I came up with like the two reasons for it in my mind. Now, whether or not they're true, I don't know, but that's the only thing I could come up with. But I did notice it, because that I didn't really understand that either, like why she just wakes up one day and starts killing people. Like either A, she's been doing it and she's just sloppy now, or B, she's been thinking about it for a while and she's just done.
They don't hint to any of that. So.
Yeah, and like I said, the only reasoning for me is if you see more than one John Waters movie, they all have some kind of...
Well, she could have started because he said something about the family, her family. That's
but you're going to tell me that's the first time that's ever happened?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But there again, they all have their starting point, right? So,
yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know. There's always something that pushes them over the edge, so maybe that was just the day. I don't know.
Usually what I've seen, that's usually a death. Like an important death.
Right.
Like a lot.
I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I think that she plays the character wonderfully. I think she's hilarious, and she does a really good job. So
well, I love Kathleen Turner.
Yeah.
Anything she's ever done, and I think Kathleen Turner has the sexiest voice of any woman I've ever heard talk.
I think she sounds kind of like a dude.
She did Jessica Rabbit's voice.
I don't care.
I mean, like, that's sexy, and I mean, I love her voice.
I don't know. It's kind of raspy to me.
Maybe that's why I like it.
I don't know. Maybe you're into that shit.
I love her voice.
You know, I watch a show called Dairy Girls on I can understand where she's going with the voice thing. This is why, but it's called Dairy Girls, and it's on Netflix, I think. And it's a series about these girls that they're played by adults. I had to check because I thought they were attractive.
I have to make sure I'm not a fucking pervert.
I like to make sure I'm not a creepy
guy.
So
I don't want to be that guy.
They're all adults, but they play that they're teenagers in like the 1990s in Ireland, and they all have the Irish accent. And if I will fall in love with anything that has some.
Well, I mean, accents. Come on, I mean,
that would explain why you like the girl from Russian Doll, because of her voice. She's got a voice like that too.
And it's not just the voice, though.
Like I watch a guy.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I guess.
I watch a guy play a game. He play an LA Noir, and I really like him because his name's Big Money, and he's from Scotland. And
Big
it's
Money.
just
you think he's
That's
attractive
hilarious.
too?
No, I've never seen him.
Oh,
but
he's got a sexy voice.
I like his voice. It's got the Scottish accent.
Oh, he's sexy, huh?
I didn't say that. I just said
he wants mouth hugs.
I think Kathleen Turner has a sexy voice. I really do.
Would you take mouth hugs from Kathleen Turner?
No, I don't. I don't think she's like. I mean, she's just not my type.
They make her out to be. They kind of put her in this movie as a bit of a sex symbol in a few different scenes. Like
I didn't get that at all.
Well, the part where she walks into the classroom and the teacher looks her up and down, like, yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm thinking like, no, like.
No, I mean from maybe a middle-aged guy standpoint, but I don't think they mean it.
Maybe.
No, I think that's the. I mean, maybe from. Like that age group, maybe
Right.
I don't know, but
I mean,
I never got that.
I thought she was pretty.
I mean, yeah, pretty, but
I mean, for a mom, maybe, but like.
Well, I'm also.
Yeah, Kathleen Turner, she doesn't, like do it for me or anything.
She definitely doesn't do it for me now.
I love her voice.
Especially now, like she's not attractive now at all.
I kind of have a thing for older women. I don't know if Kathleen Turner, or if she's pretty anymore.
No, she's not. She doesn't look. She hasn't.
I tend to have a thing for older women.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
That's cool. To each his own, man.
Yeah, whatever trips your trigger. Yeah. So like, I like her a lot. Pretty much anything she's ever been. Of course, Matthew Lillard's great, and especially it being like one of his first roles. I love to see them in their earlier roles, and to see that he, that energy that was there in like, kind of its infancy. And then to see him take that same energy and see it blossoming later,
Scream.
I really like that.
Yeah,
because you can see him using sort of the energy here and bringing it out and really honing his skills.
He really was like next to her. He was the second best part of this movie. Mm-hmm. So I'd have to 100% it because she kills it in the movie.
She does.
She really does. She's great in the movie. I think she's fun to watch.
It's
but
funny
him,
that
then
you say she kills it.
Yeah,
she killed a lot.
No pun intended. Wink, wink.
Yeah, and I think that one thing John Waters does really well is he always sets the tone very well with the look of everything. Like he went that Leave It to Beaver neighborhood, and everything looked
right,
trim and proper, and the way she dressed, her hair, the music you hear, everything was just perfect. So I go 6.5.
6.5.
Yep.
That's pretty high.
I can't go 7 because 7's just, I mean, that's just too high. But like, it's not a high ranking movie, but it's a good movie, and I really like the humor. So
Okay.
6.5 for me.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so you guys know how the Metacritic thing works, right? I don't have to explain
the
it.
critics
because
are-
I don't know how it works.
Critics are out of 100, and then the
Oh, it's him.
yeah. You see his
Okay,
mustache.
it's Creep that they make it's the song called
Yeah,
Creep
yeah,
that they
yeah,
talk about
yeah.
him
Yeah.
in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the meta score is out of like a percentage, and the user score is
Like
out of 10.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, Matt, what do you think the meta score is? It is a percentage.
critic score.
The critics-
I'm
this
gonna
critic score.
say 55.
Okay, Joseph.
Oh, I'm gonna go 10 down. I'm gonna give it 45.
Matt gets it.
Oh.
It's 64.
64? Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For its time, it wasn't a bad movie.
Well,
remember
this
the
is
time,
recent.
too.
These. I'm sure that these
These are recent.
recent
Oh,
critic,
okay, well, still.
reviews. So
And what do you think the user score is, Matt?
Is it still a percentage?
It's out of 10.
and it's it could be like a 5.7.
Yeah, they do points, and it could be 7, 3.
I'm gonna say it's a 6.9.
I think that the I don't know, on Metacritic. I don't know. I think that the user scores are going to be about the same. What was the critic?
65.
64.
64. I'm going to go. I'm going to go one down on Matt and go 6.8.
Well, even though you guys went with Price is Right rules, he still got it because it was exactly 6.9.
Motherfucker!
I did good.
You did good.
I am gonna go with the worst review here for oh man, this is
Can't
an
believe you got
entire
up to
article.
6.9. 6.9, baby, every time.
This is a 1-star review from
Wait,
Empire.
are you sure they're not talking about a series?
Yeah, no, this actually is the.
I could see it being like a Netflix series or something.
I
wanted to say that too. I think that if they were going to do anything with I Am Legend, they should do it as a series, a 10-episode series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because that would be fucking awesome. That would
Netflix
be,
is doing a good job with movies. Did you watch the Fear Street trilogy?
yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, those are good. What you got, Karen?
None of these make sense.
Kind of like the movie?
The movie made perfect sense.
She was a serial killer and got away with it until she killed somebody in the fucking courthouse.
I'll just read
the.
the lowest one that I can find, and it says Waters' kinky view of the world has simply been overtaken by the sheer warp of reality. What that has to do with the movie, I haven't the foggiest. That's why I said none of these make sense.
I think that they were saying, I don't think they fully understand that this is supposed to be a satire movie.
That's what I'm getting at. I read that and I'm like, so, and that has what to do with the movie exactly?
Right. The movie's satirical. I don't understand why you're butthurt about a warped sense of reality.
Yeah, it's a satire movie, so I don't understand what.
Yeah, so it's Hollywood. They all have a sense of warped reality.
And apparently, what the fuck? No user reviews currently available. Even though it says there's 6 positive and 1 negative, and I can't.
They might not have wrote a review.
So that's stupid. Why would you review something?
There's only
that's
10
stupid?
reviews.
Apparently.
Jeez.
Well, it says there's 45, but it says down here 6 and 1 and I don't fucking know.
Oh, those are what they ranked it at. That was one said good, okay, and then bad.
Fuck, I don't know.
That's why I hate using Metacritic sometimes. I usually just go to Rotten
I just picked the
Tomatoes.
first one, so that's what we went with. I'll do better next time.
Do better next time, god damn it.
Listen here, motherfucker, you want to do it?
God darn it.
You want it done the way you want it done, you do it.
Fuck that. This is your movie.
Yeah, well, this is your podcast.
Whoa,
Oh!
no. I make this everybody's podcast. That is the point of everybody hosting. This is for everybody. It's not just mine. I do all the legwork, and you guys help.
I was supposed to have to show up. That was all.
No bullshit.
You know, now in this, it's going to be a.
Then I'm not going to feel so bad when I fire you. Whenever I fire you guys from this podcast.
I thought we talked about that.
Oh, exactly.
Didn't we just talk about this?
Yeah, we did.
I'll lose my paycheck.
We're going to take away you guys' pension.
I want severance.
Take away your fucking
severance
pension.
pay. Wait, you're getting paid?
With love.
and by
mouth hugs.
and by yeah, I was gonna say and by love he means mouth hugs.
All right, so reviews are done. So that means trivia.
Trivia.
So I gotta keep talking.
See, whenever Karen hosts, it's like double duty for her. She's like, "Fuck, I gotta pretty much do everything."
Well, at least we stay on
track.
On track.
Hey, I've been doing really good here. The past few episodes.
What?
I do have to look at it quite often.
Joseph can't help that he can't remember.
I know. Even though I have to turn to look, it's literally right there.
I'm like staring at it the whole time. Like, what's next? All right, so in 40 minutes, I gotta jump to this.
Oh, that's so fun. Okay. So trivia. This was Matthew Lillard's first starring role, but his second film. And the first day that he was on set, he noticed that Kathleen Turner had memorized everyone's names. And he asked her why she did that. She told him, "Oh, honey, that's the first thing you do." So from then on, he made that the first thing he did.
Oh, that's cool.
John Waters was the voice of Ted Bundy on the tape found under the mattress.
Was it?
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah. The copyright holders of the song Tomorrow from Annie, this is hilarious to me, charged $60,000 for the rights to use it in the film because of the explicit nature of Waters' past films.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Get over yourself.
Because they didn't know what the movie was going to be about, so they were like, we know this
We're
guy.
not taking any fucking chances.
We know this fucking guy, so we're just going to charge you a lot of money.
He could have just went with any other fucking iconic movie and probably gotten away with it.
No, I think he likes wholesome.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In the midst of his
That's what I'm saying. Like, he could have went
craziness.
with a different iconic wholesome movie. He could have went with The Sound of Music or something.
Still
you know?
he probably would have got charged for those for it.
Annie's $60,000, but they want Sound of Music is $100,000.
Yeah,
we
we're
can't
gonna go with
afford that.
Annie.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, but Scotty's car was a 1967 GTO.
Very nice. Very nice. It's a nice car.
Very nice car. I don't know who the fuck gave Scotty that car. He does not deserve that car.
I was surprised.
Scotty doesn't even know.
I was surprised that van could keep up.
Yeah. Well, the GTO didn't sound like it had a really mean engine.
That is hilarious because you say that, and the very next part of trivia is from that scene. The friendly wave that Beverly gives to her family.
I saw that. I noticed that. You could barely see it.
Yeah. So the friendly
I thought
wave.
she did. Wasn't no.
Yeah. The friendly way that Beverly gives to her family as she's chasing Scotty was improvised by Kathleen Turner. John Waters never even noticed it until a screening where the audience were laughing at it. The Christmas card in Beverly's serial killer scrapbook belongs to a man named Dennis Dermody. It was hand-painted by John Wayne Gacy and sent to Dennis when he was a child. Waters borrowed the card unbeknownst to Dennis and inserted it into the scene as a joke so that Dennis would see it when he watched the movie.
Right.
The fact that it's created by Gacy and is not mentioned is not the viewer is not expected to notice or know this. It was just an inside joke between Waters and his friend Dennis. Right. Kathleen Turner said that Michael Douglas tried to talk her out of the movie, claiming it to be a career killer.
It didn't kill her career.
No, she did fine. John Waters, in turn, was interviewed about how he secured Kathleen Turner as Beverly. Waters said that other prominent actresses expressed interest but pissed him off by either asking that Beverly be rewritten to be less malevolent, which makes absolutely no fucking sense.
She wasn't malevolent at all.
Also, she's a serial killer.
Yeah, like...
I wouldn't even say she was malevolent, though. I would say, because malevolence means that she was...
She kills people, man.
I know she kills people, but I'm saying, like, she didn't have that sort of personality. You know what I mean? Like Malevolent, you think of Malevolent, you think of like
you mean
evil
in your,
queen.
Well, you think malevolence is in your face, but malevolence doesn't necessarily mean it's in your face. Malevolence means that you're capable of great violence, capable of great evil.
Right.
So,
and I can see it in her because I think anybody who's too happy is capable of violence.
that's fair. Anyway, they wanted her to be less malevolent, which absolutely makes no sense. I mean, how can you be a serial
She
killer?
gotta be a serial killer, not be. Yeah.
Or they wouldn't sign up without doing a cast reading first, which meant that they wanted to be with the rest of the cast and make sure that they, would mesh with them.
Right.
Which to him meant that, if they didn't get along with somebody, they would want that person to be off the film, or you know what I mean. And he didn't like how that was
Hollywood bigwigs.
He didn't like that kind of jive. So he said that Kathleen wanted the role and didn't ask for any of that. She just wanted the role with no strings attached. Okay. So he went with that. Some of the other actresses that did sign or want the role, but he didn't go into detail about which ones were the ones that were being bitchy, or what the reason was they didn't get the role, was Susan Sarandon, and Julie Andrews. Those were the two that he named. But Susan Sarandon did say on her own that she ended up like being kind of upset that she didn't get the role, or she should have done the role, but she asked for too much money, which it kind of surprises me that she wouldn't have like backed down if she wanted the role that badly, because didn't she get her start in Rocky Horror? I mean, come on.
Right.
If you really wanted the role that bad with the quirkiness and all that, then you should have just taken the role for whatever they were going to give you.
See, that's the thing that I don't understand about actors and stuff. Like, they won't do a role if they don't get paid the amount of the money. Why don't you just do the role because you like the role?
Well, yeah, and I almost think that she kind of said that later just because of the fan following that it got.
Yeah.
And a lot of those same fans were people that were Rocky Horror fans, or you know what I mean? So like those same people are following the same things, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted the role, and I wish I'd have taken it." Come on.
Because I'm sorry,
if you wanted it,
because
you
she didn't want to
had
upset
it.
anybody.
Yeah.
If I
or
was
look poorly upon.
If I was
Right.
an actor, I think I would be kind of a weird actor, because I think I would tell like the director, how much are you willing to pay? If I really want to play the role, the money's not going to matter.
Or do like Keanu Reeves and be like, I'll do it for like nothing.
Yeah.
He's given up part of his salary before.
Or all of it.
I heard he gave up a big chunk of his salary so he could, in the Devil's Advocate, so
they could get Al Capone.
He gave up everything that he made on The Matrix for the fucking special effects team.
Oh, did he? No. He didn't give up everything he made.
He gave them motorcycles.
Yeah, he bought them all motorcycles as bonuses.
There was one where he gave up everything.
Maybe I don't know, but I know for like the Matrix sequels.
Maybe it wasn't the first. Maybe it was the first one. It was one of the Matrix.
I know
movies.
for the sequels, he bought the entire FX teams. He bought them all Harleys.
They were going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, because it was going to be too.
I didn't hear he bought them Harleys. I heard he bought them motorcycles from his.
Maybe I thought it was Harleys. I don't know. I know he bought them all bikes of some kind.
No.
So
I don't know.
As like a bonus.
Ooh.
Out of all of his movies, John Waters says that this one is his favorite. A poster of the band L7 can be seen in Chip's room on the back of his bedroom door. And this is the real life name of the Camel Lips band.
Camel Lips.
And
I'm going to get a t-shirt.
Obviously the band that is playing when Scotty gets killed.
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know. And the final bit of trivia that I have is, in case anybody was wondering, the movie Scotty is watching as he masturbates is Chesty Morgan's Deadly Weapons, 1974, and it is a real pornographic film.
Oh, fucking Christ.
I have no doubt it's a real...
Yeah, that's not a good... I don't think I could...
You wouldn't be into Chesty Morgan's films?
No, I don't think so.
No? Not your cup of tea?
Not my thing, man. Definitely not my thing.
So, talking about next week, Matt.
What are we talking about next week, Matt?
I am picking a movie.
Yeah.
That is coming.
We got that.
That's the idea.
That is coming out next week. Well, actually, it's coming out at the end of this week on Friday, and it is.
I want to watch it tonight.
Weird. The Weird Al story.
Oh, okay.
On Roku.
Okay.
It's coming out on Roku tomorrow. Friday, actually.
Is it on Roku?
Yeah, it's on Roku because I got a reminder and everything.
Okay.
But it's
Do
weird.
you even have fucking Roku? I don't know.
It's free. You can tell.
Is it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
a lot of smart TVs come with it on it.
I'm glad you picked that one because I'm pretty excited to watch it.
Me too.
I do want to watch it because I hope that it's nothing like his actual life.
I don't think it is because from what I've heard, it's supposed to be
It
a parody.
can't
of a parody.
be. There's no way. It
Yeah.
can't
Yeah, I know.
be.
I'm
mean,
sorry.
Like the-
I love
like
Weird
I-
Al, but I don't see him.
I
hanging
saw
out
a
with
part
Madonna.
where, like, yeah, Madonna comes in his house and pretty much rapes him.
Yeah, that's
You know
what I'm
what I mean?
saying.
Like-
There's no way that you know what I mean? Like, no way.
And there's a one part where the guy, like who got his stardom, like says, "I think Madonna's a bad influence. No offense," and Madonna's just like,
Yeah. yeah.
And
Like he's just hanging out with Madonna all the time
Yeah.
and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like yeah, because and also he says, every performer has problems with drugs and alcohol. I'm sorry, I've never seen Weird Al do anything where it looked like he was drunk or anything.
I think you're right. I think it's just a parody of his life.
Yeah.
Just like all of his music.
That
though,
I was
would-
gonna say that
it would
fits
only-
perfectly.
it would be perfect.
That's exactly
That's-
how
that's-
And the fact that they got Daniel Radcliffe in there to do it is even better.
You know,
I
Weird
love
Al
him.
I fucking love Daniel
Weird
Radcliffe.
Al loves the fact that Daniel Radcliffe is playing him.
Oh, does he?
He loves it.
Dude.
But
I got Harry
Fucking
Potter.
love him.
Yeah, I got Harry Potter to play.
Weird
dude. That's
Al.
all.
You know, it's so weird. Like, I never watched Harry Potter. Was never into it. Right. I like all the stuff he's done.
Oh, yeah.
Post Harry Potter.
I don't.
right?
Yeah.
Guns Akimbo and like all that
Honestly,
shit.
I don't even care. Oh, Guns Akimbo was great.
It was great.
People were like, "That movie was dumb." Like, what was dumb about it,
Yeah.
dude? Like, it was
Fuck
amazing.
off.
Shit was great.
Wasn't that movie meant to be outrageous?
Yes.
Like that's
Yes, they literally screw guns to his fucking hands. Like, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like,
Yeah, I've watched like a bunch of stuff post Harry Potter. I don't care about Harry Potter, but yeah, and it's so funny because he's like basically like our age, right?
yeah.
But like it's so weird. I think it's because like when I think of Harry Potter, I think of kids, right?
Yeah.
So every time I think of Harry Potter, I think about it coming out like when I was older for some reason and they were kids. And so like I'm like looking at, Daniel Radcliffe and I'm like, man, he's hot. Oh, gross. But then I'm like, wait, no, I can think he's hot.
Yeah,
It's fine.
we're the same
Yeah,
age.
we're the same age. It's fine.
we pretty much grew up together.
Right. But it, like I always, it every time I look at that guy, I'm like, oh, why am I thinking like that? And then I'm like, wait, I can.
Yes.
It's fine.
There are
Yeah.
so many movies where I'll be watching something like, oh, that girl's pretty. What's her name?
What's her age?
Oh, it's okay.
Fine.
She's playing a high schooler, but she's actually 40, so it's all good.
That's the thing
That's
I was-
another part that I hated about Grease. None of those motherfuckers look like teenagers.
No, they don't.
Oh my god.
A lot of
That's
movies
the
are like that, though.
But that is the worst offender.
Nowadays, they actually get teenagers to play teenagers.
Right, but Grease is the worst offender.
Yeah, John Travolta's like a grown-ass man.
But what's her face? The one that played the one that's like, I'm not pregnant. What was her name?
Oh, I don't know.
She looked like she's 45.
Roxy or something. I forget what her name was.
I don't know. She looks like she's 45 and she's supposed to be a teenager. Like
But-
you're not pregnant. That's cool. You've already got 6 kids, I'm sure.
Yeah, in
See,
real life.
Jesus.
That's that like
I got
that
stretch
show.
marks and all.
Oh,
That show Dairy Girl. I watch it and I was surprised to find out that all the girls that they play like high school kids, they're all 20 and 30.
Well, that's like watching like Bring It On with Kirsten Dunst. Like Kirsten Dunst is like fucking in her late 20s whenever she does that movie. You're like, and that movie came out. I mean, obviously she's older than us even at this
yeah.
point. So,
I'm just saying that Grease is the worst offender because those people.
Oh, yeah, they look nothing
they
like
have
children.
wrinkles. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
They look nothing
Oh,
like
it's
they're teenagers.
terrible.
John Travolta's already balding, so
They got gray hairs.
Yeah.
Like one of them's walking with a cane.
he ain't got a pompadour. It's actually a comb over.
Okay, so next week is Weird. The
Weird, the
Al
Weird
Yankovic.
Al.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
so-
I'm kind of happy you picked that. I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
I had another movie picked, but then I saw that was coming out this week, and I was like, ah, man, I got to do that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
movie's, I told myself, I was like, I need to watch that movie, but I don't know that I would have if you didn't pick it.
That's funny because when I seen the previews for it, I kind of was like, I think Matt would really like that movie.
Yeah, he's a big Weird Al fan.
I love Weird Al. Like I remember Milo asked me once. He was like, because I was real big into, I didn't like artists that sold out, and he actually asked me once. He was like, what was an artist that you wouldn't care if they sold out and you would still listen to them and love them? Weird Al.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if he did it though, he would do it in a way that was
funny.
He would do it in a way that was satirical.
Because I've been thinking about getting a tattoo for a while. He has a song called Tattoos. It's about tattoos, and he's a part where he's like, "Check out this rad Boba Fett. It's playing clarinet." I've been thinking about getting a tattoo of Boba Fett playing a clarinet. It makes sense because I like Star Wars.
Yeah. And you like Weird Al. And it sounds like a fun tattoo.
I would take a picture of it and send it to him. Be like, I got this for you.
I'm sure that he's had that before.
Yeah. Oh no. There's other people with Weird Al tattoos. It's not the first time I've thought about getting a Weird Al tattoo, but yeah, he's probably one of my favorite. He's one of the artists that I've grown up loving.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Okay, so next week we'll be doing Weird Al. Tune in for that. In the meantime, have a great week.
Enjoy life.
Yep.
As it was meant to be enjoyed, whether it be killing people, loving God,
don't kill
or having sex. Whatever you want to do.
Don't kill people.
I mean, unless they are mean to your family.
Then you murder them.
Yeah.
Just, it's okay.
That's what Beverly does.
That's what Serial Mom did, dude. Mm-hmm. I don't see any issue with it.
She got away with
I kind of think the number of people that you murder to be serial killers should be more than 3.
I thought they did up it.
They did up it like it's a fucking...
I think it's 6.
Is it 6 now?
Yeah.
I always remember
like it's a tax
3.
bracket or something. Like, they did up it.
Yeah.
Well, because you could kill 3 people and it just not be like... I'm talking about like you can kill 3 people and that's just a small group of people.
That's a weekend for you?
What I mean is like you can kill 3 people and that's a family and you're labeled a serial killer. Well, no, that's not... It's what I'm saying is 3 people just doesn't seem like enough.
Oh, it depends.
Okay, yeah, you're a killer.
Did you kill them all together? Because then that's just a mass murder.
I think we don't have enough time for you to go into all the different definitions.
Either way, just enjoy
murder.
life. Kill who you want.
I only know the definition.
Kill who you want.
Yeah, I mean,
I only know the number 3 thing because I used to watch.
Life's full of choices.
Yeah,
that was 3.
I say it all the time. Life's full of choices.
Don't
do what makes you happy, but just know that sometimes choices have consequences.
Don't kill people.
Shut up, Matt.
Don't kill people. Just don't. Let God sort them out.
Or do. It's up to you, man.
Don't! Joseph!
What?
Stop telling people to kill people. They're going to bring it up in court. We go to court. They're going to be like, well, they told us to do it.
But here, no. First of all, there is no they here. Joseph's the one telling them to do it.
I am sitting here.
And second of all, and Joseph would tell you this, if they listen to Joseph, they're idiots.
You dumbass. I didn't fucking mean it.
I mean, and like he said, you make choices. They have consequences.
Life is full of choices. There's murder everywhere. Doesn't mean that you're supposed to do it. I'm telling you to do it, but if I told you to jump off of a bridge, would you do it?
Probably not.
Exactly. So
I'm not sure I could be part of a podcast where somebody tells people to murder people.
Don't you ever just feel like getting a little stabby sometimes?
No.
That's a mood. That's a whole mood.
It is a mood.
You wake up feeling a little stabby,
like a little week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That happens to me most Tuesdays usually. Yeah.
Yeah. See, right? A good thing we do this podcast with her on Wednesday. She gets the stabby out of the system. She's good to go on Wednesday. Anyway, see y'all next week. Stab.
Okay, bye.
Bye.